Hi, friends. Nice to see you all. It's me, Christiana Gaudet. I am live on my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. Of course, if you're watching an archive, we appreciate that, but we especially appreciate the people who are here right now. It is Global Tarot Circle, our first event of February, and our first event since StarCon. So thank you to all of you who participated in StarCon one way or the other. We really appreciate that. We are already making plans for StarCon 2022. And so the first thing I'll do is say this. If you are not a member of the Global Tarot Circle group on Facebook, please do join us there. And we also have a StarCon group. It was called StarCon 2021. In the past hour, it just got a name change to StarCon Community. Please join that group as well. We'll have a lot of fun stuff for you throughout the year. And of course, our big conference in January. All right, so here we are. This is Global Tarot Circle. We did not in January, but typically we do 3 tarot meetups a month here on this channel and 2 classes. We put them up on Facebook events. We put them up on Meetup. We were a little late. We just got some of them up today. So we're getting it together. But you can always know what we have coming up on YouTube by going to the live tarot webinars playlist. And there you can also see the classes that we've done in the past. So we do have a couple of fun classes coming up this month. Let me just go over the schedule with you for the month. Okay, so this coming Sunday, the 7th, before the Super Bowl, 4 o'clock, we're going to do our Cards and Conversation Tarot meetup, which is really very much like this one. We'll do some readings for each other. We'll do some tarot study. I hope you can join us. We have a class called Love in the Cards. That will be Saturday the 13th at 10:30 a.m. We're going to spend an hour talking about how love shows up in the cards. Now, if that's something that you're very interested in, I am doing a premium class on Zoom called Tarot Reading for Personalities and Relationships. How do we figure out a person's personality, right? How do we figure things out about relationships? If you want a 2-hour class on Zoom on that topic, you need a ticket. You can go to my website, tarotbychristiana.com, and get a ticket. So we would love to see you there. Now, we also have another tarot meetup. Remember, I said we do 3 a month. On the 21st, that's a Sunday at 4 p.m. And one more class, the 27th, that's a Saturday, 10:30 a.m. And that class is going to be Tarot and Pendulum, how we work together with Tarot and Pendulum. Now, if you recognize these classes, it's because you requested them or you saw them being requested in the Global Tarot Circle Facebook group. That's what I did. I said, hey, I'm planning new classes. What should we study? These were your ideas. So keep those ideas coming. That's how we figure out what we're going to do. So I am so grateful to see you here, Dave, Lacey, Brenda, Laura, Sammy Jo, Barrett, Marion, Sarah, glad you're here, Claire, Kim, Iva, La Morena, Lori, Tammy, who is really fast horse. So happy to see all of you here. So the next question, of course, is what would you like to talk about today? What our format generally is we'll do, for the first half hour or so, we will do readings for one another in a very specific format. I'll explain that format in just one moment, but if you got your cards, get them shuffled and let's get going. And if you would like, please tell us where in the world you are and what deck you're working with. So you may know that I got all of the decks. Well, actually, there's still one deck I want. I don't have Wild Unknown. But I got Light Seers. I got Modern Witch, and I got Mystic Mondays, all for the Winter Festival gift giving holiday. And so now I am rebuilding my list for what I want. Okay, Wild Unknown is there, and Heaven and Earth is there. Those are the two that are on the list that I know I still want. So, what deck are you working with? Where in the world are you? Sarah, you're using your new Thoth, Toth, Toth, Tahote deck, right? No one really knows how it's supposed to be pronounced. Glad you've got that. And you had asked to talk about that. So I actually got mine out as well. I've got mine here. So that's something we can talk about, is sort of the compare and contrast with Waite and Crowley, and sort of how that works out. Brenda's got the Golden Girls Tarot. So I got to shout out Brenda. She is now a Lenormand creator. Hang on, I got to show you these. So she has created so far 2 decks. We've got a Halloween Lenormand and an electric Lenormand. So if you're into Lenormand at all, there you go. Okay, so it is Stacy, Tarot Reader, uses Crowley only. So you might have some really good insights for us. That's fabulous. Fabulous. Okay, Disco Bunny, Kristen Cardona. Oh, Zoltan Tarot. Yeah, I've got that one. That's an interesting one. Laura, I know you're in Hawaii using True Heart Tarot. Lacey in New York City using Pixie Centennial. Nalini in Ormond Beach using the Radiant Rider Waite. Claire in Lakewood Ranch, Florida, using the Radiant Tarot. Marion in Scotland using the Spacious Tarot. Hey, should I add that to my want list, Spacious Tarot? I've heard good things about it. So that's really good. Okay, Sammy Joe in Chicago. Traditional land. Yes, yes. Oh, good land acknowledgement. Good. And using Field Tarot. Iva, I know you're right here, South Florida girl, with me, using the Rider Waite. Kim just got the Swedish version of the Yolanda Tarot. I was going to use it, but it's in Swedish, and you don't speak Swedish yet. Okay. Kathleen Wu, nice to see you using Spirit Keepers Tarot. Betty Flesher using Hoodoo Tarot in West Virginia. And Sammy Joe votes for Spacious Tarot for me. All right, so. Oh, yes, do send me a video of it for sure. Okay, so to start, what deck am I going to use? I think I'm going to use my Light Seers. I'm really loving this. Kim's going with Tarot of the Origins. All right. So here's how we start. What we're going to do is read for each other. So if you have a question, something that you don't mind asking in front of the group, Raynan in Dubai using Classic Tarot. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, so. Oh, and it is Stacy is in Baltimore, Maryland. Great place to be. All right. So here's how we do this. If you have a question, go ahead and chat it in. I will do a 1-card reading for you, and then anyone who wants to will put your name, the name of the card they got, and their interpretation right in the comments. And so we do a whole huge spread together, but we are each pulling only 1 card. So if you ask for a reading, you have to go through and you have to read to get the entire reading. If our deck uses alternative suits, should we say what the suit is or what it would be traditionally? So if it's an easy, like if it's feathers for swords, we know. If it's something that we wouldn't necessarily get, then yes, please do translate for us. Okay, here is the first question from Marion. Anyone who would like to read on this, go ahead and put her name at Marion K. Tarot, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. And oh my goodness gracious, there's cards buying going on right here, right now. That is fabulous. So great. So great. Okay, so if you'd like to do this reading for Marion at Marion K. Tarot, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Hey, Jenny, nice to see you. Glad that you are here. All right. So, is Marion gonna be okay changing her internet providers even though it's Mercury retrograde? Knight of Swords reversed. It may take some extra time. You may have to make some extra phone calls. There may be some extra headaches. But oh well, you know, you got to live. You got to do what you're going to do. All right. Next question. Okay, I am looking for questions. The floor is open for questions. What would you like to know today? And go ahead. I see readings coming in. For Marion, very good. Brenda bought a deck too, Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, that's a deck. So, and you know, the question, okay, if you want to talk about cards, what deck should I put on my list? Man, that's the question. I like to have a wish list. Okay, here is a question from Kim Kim. I did Christiana's mediumship course reading and my dad's maternal grandmother came through. What does she want me to know? Well, first of all, thanks for doing that. I appreciate that. If you would like to answer this question at Kim Kim, the name of the card you got and your interpretation, what does her father's maternal grandmother want Kim Kim to know at this time? The Five of Cups. So the feeling I get with this, Kim Kim, I have three things to say about this card coming from this would be your great grandmother, right? Right? Okay, first of all, her life was not easy, and some of the difficulties she faced are in your DNA. Look at yourself, look at your fears, look at your reactions to things. And some of them that you don't understand actually came from her. They're actually ancestral. And so she wants you to do some work to heal that. She doesn't want that ancestral stuff to be passed on to you. She also knows that you have been going through some difficult things, and she wants you to know that she is there for you, to guide you and to help you. She wants you to know that she is there and she is with you. Through good times, through bad times, whatever, she is there. And the third thing is she sees herself in you quite a bit. There is a real connection between the two of you. Not only that, you know, she is your great grandmother, and not only that, you know, you're working to connect with her, but she watches over you and she sees herself in you. Okay, that's what I got. Okay, and remember, if you're doing a reading for someone, tag them, because we have a lot of readings going to be going on here. People will not know who it's for. So put the name of the person, the cards you got, and your interpretation. And thank you so much for that question, Kim Kim. Okay. Hey, Carol, haven't seen you in the longest time. Glad you're here. Melanie, nice to see you. Arlene, glad you're here. Okay. Yeah, the trip and wait. I would love that. I think I do have to get that. That is a very, very good recommendation. Thank you so much. Okay, very good. And the floor is open for questions. Thank you, everyone, for doing readings. I really appreciate it. Okay. And at this point, we are waiting for further questions. A lot of great readings happening right now. And so get your questions in. And, oh, Kim, I'm so glad that made sense for you. That felt really, that felt really strong for me. I'm so glad. Very good. And keep those deck recommendations coming in. You know, I get so stuck in the decks I know and love. I've not really gotten on the deck buying thing until recently, and now that I've started, I really don't want to stop. Like the 160 decks I own obviously are not enough, right? Okay. Hey, Melanie, sorry you're dealing with all that snow, but glad you're well. Okay, here is a question from Sarah. Okay. I base too much of my self-worth on my appearance. What can I do to boost my self-confidence from within? That is such an important question. And speaking as an older woman, I have to say, asking that question now while you're still young and beautiful is very, very good, because there's going to come a time when your physical beauty is going to change, and it's all going to be about your inner beauty. And if you have not cultivated that, what are you going to have, right? So very good. Very, very good to ask that question. Okay. If anyone would like to do this reading for Sarah, tag it for Sarah, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. What can Sarah do to boost her confidence in her inner beauty? The Empress reversed. So I gotta tell you, this makes me think that as you were growing up, there may have been an energy, a particular person in your household that may have been hypercritical of you, that may have not been able to make you feel unconditionally loved. And that's what's going on here. May have been conditional in their love. So this is about healing your inner child. The reason that you do this is because you were taught to value your good looks, which you do have, which is a great asset. You were taught to value that more than to value what's on the inside. And there's a bunch of different messaging from your childhood that needs to be fixed. So I think you should almost make a list of the things that you were taught about your looks, about being female, about your value, about your lovability, and look at those things. Look at that messaging that you received and then work to change it. Okay. Marianne D. Marianne D. So nice to see you. Is your sister around you? So we're going to look to Spirit for a message from Marianne's sister. If you would like to do this reading, at Marianne D., the name of the card you got and your interpretation. I got the Four of Wands reversed. And I don't so much see that as yes, she is around you, no, she's not. I feel like she is. But with the Four of Wands reversed, I feel like she may have concern for other family members. I wonder if there were people that she had, either difficult relationships with, or people that she left to, that she's worried about because of how they're reacting to her passing. And so I feel like, yes, she is with you, but she's also concerned about some other people who may not be handling themselves as well as she would like. Now, that is not making incumbent upon you any particular responsibility there. But she would be really, really happy if you could say a prayer, burn a candle, do something to help these people. Maybe they are family members to you as well, or they were family members to her. Maybe they're friends, other people. There's a lot of people that she is concerned about. So again, the responsibility is not incumbent upon you. But if there's anything you can do to sort of send some energy there, she would appreciate it. Okay, Melanie, what can I do to calm down the chaos? Okay, if you'd like to do this reading, at Melanie Pardis, the name of the card you got, your interpretation. What can she do to calm down the chaos? Page of Cups reversed. Are we sure it is chaos? You know, maybe it's all about how you see it. Is it your chaos? Is it within you? Is it coming at you from other people? I feel like there are things that you can do internally, that this is about your heart. It's about how you're processing things. And so I feel like you can change the way that you process and things would be better. Okay. Okay, Rainan, is it Rainan Traje? Did I pronounce that correctly? I'm sorry if I did not. How do I get successful for the next 6 months? Okay. And Marianne says, yes, that's so true. I'm praying for them. Yep, that's what she wants. That's what she wants you to do. Very good. Very good. Okay. And Lacey, if you're not seeing everyone's comments, I'm not sure what that is. It could be how you're logged in. Are you logged in as a subscriber? Are you a subscriber? Are you logged in through Google? Are you using Google Chrome? There's a lot of things that can make a difference in terms of what you actually see. Okay. Rainan, how do I get successful for the next 6 months? If you would like to do this reading, at Rainan Traje, again, I apologize if I mispronounced. Card has jumped out to the floor. That must be your card. The 9 of Swords. Hey, it feels like you've got real worries about this, or you may not be feeling as successful as you would like to feel. I think you need to heal whatever you need to heal, whatever's been bugging you. You need to heal that so that you can focus on your success. Do not worry. Do not overthink. I feel like success is something that can be yours, but you worry too much. There's your short answer. Okay. Hey, Claire C. Should I renew my teacher certification? Claire has, I guess, technically retired, but wonders if she should keep that certification going. If you'd like to do this reading, at Claire C, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. The Knight of Cups reversed. You don't have to. It really depends on what you want to do with it. I mean, there's a part of me that says, just practically, it's always a good idea to have it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you really want it. And if you don't want it, you don't have to do it. Okay, Betty Flesher. Everyone is saying to buy silver. Is it a good idea? Should Betty buy silver? If you'd like to handle this one, at Betty Flesher, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. 5 of Wands. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but I don't feel like it's this huge, big thing. And I think that these are people who are really waiting for some fall of civilization that probably is not going to come. And remember, if you're doing readings, make sure you put the name of the person you're reading for. The name of the person you're reading for, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Do it in format, or we're not going to know who you're talking to. Okay, Julia Rogers, where is my love life going? If you would like to handle this question, at Julia Rogers, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. 6 of Swords. It feels like it is sailing towards smoother waters. That's what we often say about this card, right? But the thing is, the question is, why? Why is that happening? Is that having to do with a particular relationship and you are improving your communication? Does it have to do with letting go of one relationship and opening up to something new? I'm not sure. But what I can tell you from this one card is it is so important to be logical rather than emotional. I know that sounds counterintuitive when we're talking about love, but if there's an argument between the head and the heart, about a particular relationship, then you have to go with the head, not the heart. Okay, Arlene, I bought a ton of decks, and guess what? Going back to the weight. Well, yeah, I mean, I will always, I got a weight deck right here. Absolutely. So. But the thing is, out of all the decks that I have, the majority of them, I don't really use. I don't use them for professional readings, certainly, but I love to have them. It is a great collection. Okay, and Jenny is recommending the Transparent Tarot. Thank you so much for that. Betty recommending Heaven and Earth. That is definitely on my list. And another vote for Trip and Wait. Very good. Okay. Looking at lots of great readings going on here. Thank you so much. Okay, and Swedish Yolanda Tarot. Very good. Thanks for that. Okay. Yukio Tarot? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a US Games Tarot, right? Okay, here is a question from Philippa. Nice to see you. How did Dr. Conroy feel meeting me today? I felt as if we connected quickly, but I'm unsure how he felt. Okay, let's take a look. If you'd like to do this reading, at Philippa, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. What do we think? Death, which, is this not the best death card? It's called Death and Rebirth. I love this card. Very interesting. Very interesting. I want to say you were not what he thought you were going to be, that he may have had some preconceived notions about who and what you were going to be, and you were different than what he expected. I can definitely tell you that. Okay, and some feedback from Sarah regarding the great-grandmother. Oh, no, not regarding the great-grandmother. This was the question about inner beauty versus outer beauty and confidence. Inner child healing goes deeper than just the parents. Probably need to evaluate other influential adults. Sure, absolutely. Dave, how many tarot decks does one need? Just one more. Absolutely. Okay. Lots of great readings here. Okay. Okay, and some advice from Arlene. If you aren't seeing all the comments on YouTube, go up to the top of the comments and click so it shows live chat instead of top chat. Thank you. Yes, that totally makes sense, doesn't it? Okay. Okay, lots of great readings here. Okay. Okay, right. And regarding the head and the heart, from Julia, oh my gosh, exactly. In the past, I always went with the heart. Now I'm learning to use my head. Yeah. Okay, and Marion wants me to back the Wandering Moon Tarot. I'll go check that. Is that the one you're writing the book for? Okay. Okay, and Lisa Robertson's Animal Totem. Recommendation from Lacey. Betty says there's always room for one more tarot deck. Uh-huh. I would completely agree. Okay, so from where I sit, we've gotten through all the questions. If I missed you, please reiterate it. And if you haven't yet asked, but you would like to, now is the time. I am also now opening the floor. I am opening the floor to questions about tarot. Do you have a question about a particular spread? A question about a particular card? A question about a technique? A reading you did that you didn't understand? Anything at all about tarot that you want to play with here today? This is where we share information and techniques one with another. Okay, and it is Stacy, tarot reader, has a question. How will my back surgery go? So, this is a great question because there are readers who are like, oh no, it's a health question. I don't want to handle it. I really have no problem pulling cards on pretty much anything. The only questions, because I live in Florida, I refuse to answer a question about the Super Bowl this year. And I don't like to answer questions about politics or when will I die. Any other question I'm happy to take, including how will my back surgery go? So if you are also willing to do such a question, and then we've got a question from La Morena. So nice to see you. Yeah, we'll do you. Okay, so if you'd like to do this, it is Stacy, tarot reader. How will my back surgery go? Name of the card you got, and your interpretation. Six of Cups. I think it's going to help so much. I think you're going to be so much better afterwards. I'm excited about it. Really. Okay. And yeah, we are just at the end of questions. So if you want to ask a question for a reading, go ahead and get it in now. The floor is also open for questions about tarot and tarot reading, so we can all help each other become better readers. Okay, so for La Morena Senpena, basic question, what should she know? If you would like to do this reading, I would say at least 50% of pain, maybe more, Stacy, maybe more. I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to make you feel years younger. Hey, Style and Chica, nice to see you. We'll take your question as well. Okay, so La Morena Senpena, what should she know? If you'd like to do this reading, name, card, interpretation. What should she know? Page of Pentacles. It is time for you to continue learning and communicating everything that you need to do to create your life the way you want to do it. You are beginning your journey to have your life be the way you want your life to be. Keep at it. Okay, so Sarah is looking for the great books about the Crowley Tarot, and there are some really good ones. What books can you recommend for the Crowley Harris Toth? I know there's a couple. I want to say Lon Duquette wrote one. I want to say Hans Banjo, right? Wrote one. Anyone who knows what those great books are, go ahead and put them in for Sarah. I know there are a bunch. Okay, Simple Souls question. Does the Virgo man still think of me or has he forgotten me? If you'd like to do this reading at Simple Soul, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. I got the High Priestess. I would say he definitely still thinks of you. Yes. Oh, this is a good one. Sammy Joe. How can I be more clear in communicating my needs and wants to others? If you would like to do this reading at Sammy Joe Johnson, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. The moon reversed by literally talking to people like they're five, seriously. Do not, like, you're such an intuitive person. Assume that people are not intuitive. Assume that they are not going to Intuit what you want. Be really, really, really super clear. Style and Chica. I'm thinking of leaving marketing as an industry. Is that a good idea? If you would like to do this reading at Style and Chica, the name of the card you got. Ah, that's the one. Yes. Claire C. has your book, Sarah. Look for Claire C.'s comment. That was the book I was thinking of. Okay, sorry, Peely. Style and Chica. If you'd like to do this reading, should she leave marketing as an industry? At Style and Chica, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. Temperance reverse, not necessarily. You can if you want, but remember, you could leave it now, come back to it later. Maybe you do more than one thing. Maybe you do something different now. Maybe you do it in a different way. I think there's all kinds of possibilities here. Hey, Peggy Lou, so nice to see you here. Okay. And of course, right from Stacy, the Book of Thoth, Tahote, however we pronounce it, by Aleister Crowley. I have to say, like, if you're really going to get into this deck, you really do need to read that book. But I also have to say it is not as practical as some of the ones that came after. Just like Waite's PKT is not the best book to read to become a good weight reader at this point. Okay, and Kim is recommending Primordial Tarot. I'll take a look. Okay. Okay, here we go. From Marianne, here are some questions about being a tarot reader. So the first one, if you're going to speak to this, tag it as getting better. How do you get better at reading cards? Second question is, what's the best spread? If you have something about that, tag it best spread. I'll speak to this. How do you get better at reading cards? Take classes, come to things like this, and read the cards. Read for everybody. Do readings all the time. Read for your friends. Read for everyone. Read, 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 read. I think there are a lot of people who feel like they want to know the cards better before they read for others. And I'm not talking about professional reading. I mean, obviously, don't read professionally until you really know the cards, right? But to become a better reader, you have to be a reader. So read, even if you have to look up every card in a couple of books. That's what I did for like a year. I carried a couple of books around. I would read for people. I would look up every card in more than one book and then extrapolate. Because here's the thing. A reading is not a series of keywords and interpretations. A reading is something so much more than that. And that comes from interpreting, extrapolating. How do you, if you look at the book meaning, how do you then make it fit? Make it fit with the other cards. Let your intuition flow into it. See how it fits with what's going on in the person's life. That's what you need to do. Now, in terms of spreads, I am all about, I love my 11 card Celtic Cross. I am not a fan of small spreads. I really think more cards, more information. That's the way I see it. There are a lot of people who say that it would be best to start out with small spreads when you're new. And I'm like, screw that. You might as well dive into the deep end and start swimming. That's what I think. Okay. Julia, I feel like my best accurate readings are more intuitive based, meaning a feeling over what the cards may say and mean. Should I continue to go with this style or depend on card meanings? Both. You should know the card meanings, and you should know a great variety of card meanings because sometimes that comes up. And that will help you on the days when the intuition isn't doing it for you. And that will actually work with your intuition. If you know that a card can mean 5 or 6 different things, your intuition will take that and work with it. So it's not one or the other, it's both. And we have a new subscriber. Thank you. My House of Dreams, brand new here, just subscribed. Thank you so much. Yes, new subscriber is allowed to ask a question for sure. Okay, so let's see, where were we? Okay. And if you have comments about intuition versus interpretation, tag it, intuition, interpretation, what do you think as regards to Julia's question? Hey, Kim Case, nice to see you. I had a great tail gackle come squawk at me for 10 minutes and fly away after I took his photo. Who sent him? So that's a fun one. If anyone would like to play with that, at Kim Case, the name of the card you got, your interpretation. The Four of Wands reversed. Did you have an ex, a loved one, like a romantic, someone you've been romantic with, pass away? If it's not someone romantic, it would be a family member. That's what I would say. Okay. And this isn't tagged, but I know where it was going. To be a better tarot reader, from Stacy, meditate on the cards. And even ask, what is the pick 3 for today? So just pick 3 cards and see them for the day. Sure, that makes sense. Okay. From Betty at Getting Better. Go on Facebook, offer free readings on some of the tarot learning pages. Plenty of people would love free readings, right? Right? Absolutely. Practice, man. You got to practice. Okay. Okay. Regarding intuitively, Brenda, I found I had to read intuitively with no book. And once I was comfortable with that, then I studied the meanings. You can do both of these things simultaneously, though. Yeah. And Dave, being a better reader, I'm fighting to get away from looking up meanings, but to let it happen intuitively. Psychometry is 100% intuitive. Why can't I let the cards be such a tool? I'm working on it, right? Yeah, I hear that. And spreads from Betty, the gypsy spread. 5 cards per row, as many rows until the cards stop talking. There you go. Marion, how to get better. Make peace with yourself that you will make mistakes and be okay with that. Word. Also think about when you first started driving. The more you drive, the better you got. Yep, absolutely. 100%, 100%. Okay. La Morena, to get better. Reading for others it's great to get feedback. And read for yourself to compare and contrast. Meetings and classes like this are great. See what decks and cards you connect with and find out why. Okay, so we're going to do one more reading for a new subscriber. How can you not, right? My House of Dreams. When we met, did he feel I could be someone he would like? If you would like to do this reading, My House of Dreams, the name of the card you got, and your interpretation. 3 of Cups reversed. I don't know, man. I would not say, like, I would not be buying the wedding dress right now. Let's put it that way. I think you still want to be open. And La Morena says both intuition and traditional keywords and meanings. Yeah, but you know what drives me nuts? When people think a reading is just the keyword and that's it. Like, the keyword is where you start, not where you end, right? Okay. Kim, how to get better. It's great to find another reader of the same level to trade readings with. You will each know what type of feedback helps. Challenge each other to rely on intuition and report back. Yep. And Stacy, practice. Yes. Okay, Disco Bunny, Kristen, tarot question. How to use meditation to improve your tarot? Not just do it, more details. I love you. What a great question. Okay, so let's hear from everybody. What are your techniques? How to use meditation to improve your tarot. So, a couple of things. Number one, simply having a meditative practice will make you more intuitive, and that will help you. Number two, choosing a card and meditating on it will help you know the card. Now, what you can do is you can do a meditation where you actually go in and talk to the character in the card. You can also do a meditation where you become the character in the card and see where that takes you. Those things will help you so much. They'll help you in your life, and they will help you know the card better. There you go. Okay, let's hear what other people have to say about that. Melanie, thank you so much. These fast classes are phenomenal for learning. Follow Christiana's classes as much as possible. I believe she is the teacher of our generation. Well, thank you. At least one of them. We got a lot of good ones. But thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Okay, Iva. I am still stuck on wanting to know what the cards means, as my personality wants to know rather than just trusting my intuition, working on it. Well, here's the problem with that. So what does a card mean? So it can mean so many different things. Like, you want to think about it in terms of, like, if the card were a person, there's so many different facets to a personality, right? And each card has so many different facets, so it's going to mean different things at different times. And that's the thing you want to remember. So learn a few key words, learn a few key phrases for each card, but then recommend it's going to grow out. Okay. So this is a good one from Stacy. An artist trick, slowly squint your eyes and just look at the cards. Yes, absolutely. For meditation and getting intuition from the cards. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Looking through, getting better from Marion. Also learn to talk in tarot. So if something major happens, you could say that was a tower moment. Or to describe a person, oh, they're a bit of a Knight of Wands. Right. I had someone say to me today, I need to be less 8 of Wands on this. No, that's not what it was. I need to be less 8 of Cups on this. No, it wasn't that either. It was, I need to be less 5 of Cups and more 8 of Cups, meaning they just needed to walk away instead of being sad. That's what it was. Okay, so we're doing things a little different today. Usually we like cut off our tarot readings and go right into tarot teaching, but now we're doing everything, and I feel okay doing that today. So if you want to play with that, let's do it. Here's a question from Peggy Lou. Will I be successful in getting tarot certified and building a business? So frankly, the certification, I have a certification, yes, not really necessary, but will you be successful in building a tarot business? If anyone would like to do a card for Peggy Lou at Peggy Lou Leven's, the name of the card you got and your interpretation. The Hierophant reversed. Again, the certification is less important than just figuring out who you are as a reader and getting it out there. That's what you need to do. Okay, La Morena to discuss spreads. I did simple 3 to 5 cards, then just started freeform. I can do larger like Christiana's Celtic Cross or Seven Sisters. I want to get better at them though. Yep. Kim, regarding meditation, I find meditation helps me feel more grounded and helps me not to overthink. Therefore, tapping intuition instead of analytical thinking. Yep. Betty, Christiana, when you were on with Amy Zerner and Monty Farber, what an honor that was. I really appreciated that. I loved how everyone answered a question and talked about what card and how you got the interpretation. Don't know how we could do that. So here's the thing. Yeah, I only talk about the cards if people really need to know about the cards, because that's not really what it's about. The answer to no one's question is Six of Swords, the answer is, hey, you really need to rise above your emotion and follow your logic. That's the answer. So, and I think it's something that readers get caught up in. It's the difference between a real reading and a keyword. And so I think it's just a matter of empowering yourself to do that. Oh, this is so nice. I'm really loving the StarCon references here. Thank you so much. From Kristen, Disco Bunny. Going to try entering the cards. Yup, that's a great thing. Brenda Elizabeth, psychic class at StarCon got me hooked on working this muscle. Absolutely. Oh, this is fun. Sammy Joe, I like to free doodle, not images per se, mostly lines and shapes with texture while thinking about a card. That is brilliant. Lacey, creative journaling helps to create new and deeper personal meanings. I love that. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. La Morena, I agree. Keywords and traditional meanings to begin, then let intuition take over. Yes. It's the same way I started with specific spreads and meanings and now kind of do it in the moment like stream of consciousness. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely. That is it. Okay. La Morena, techniques. I let my mind go blank and do whatever comes to me. I used to try to focus on the read and query question like traditional meditation, but I found out this was better for me. Yeah, letting it go. Yeah. Okay, Marianne, meaning for temperance reversed. So for me, temperance reversed, now it came up in answer to the question, should Claire renew her teaching certificate? And temperance reversed for me can very much be about impatience, can also be about, you don't really have all of the information or all of the pieces. Oh, no. That wasn't what it was about at all. Excuse me. I'm old and I have a messed up memory. It was for Peely. It was Style and Chica about whether she should get out of her industry, marketing. That's what it was. So, maybe she doesn't want to be there right now, but maybe she would want to be there later. There's a sense of impatience. She's impatient with it. She's impatient with the job she can find, but maybe in time, she might find the flow of it again. That's where I was going with that. Okay. Okay, and lots of good readings going on. Peggy Lou, I like to write my thoughts on the cards and then look up meanings in several resources and journal everything. Yes, 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 that's good. That's good. Okay, so I did want to talk a little bit, since Sarah asked, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Crowley deck. And I know we have one person here who uses it exclusively, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. I tend to be more of a weight reader, but I like some of Crowley keywords. Dave says too many Dead concerts. Never too many, my friend, never too many. But yeah, the fact that I have any memory at all is a miracle. Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So like for instance, the key word on the Seven of Swords, futility, is such an interesting difference between how we tend to see the Seven of Swords and the weight deck, but I like to look at them together. How does futility work with that card? So I think that's kind of interesting. I love works for the Three of Pentacles in Crowley. So I think there is so much there that we can learn from, whether it becomes your exclusive deck or not. There's so much you can learn. Okay, so a few things here. Lacey, I agree. I like to know what cards you pull and hear the interpretations as well. I couldn't happen for every question during the oracles, though. I need a mirror so you can see. But see, that's the thing. I don't care if you can see what cards I'm looking at. I mean, from a student's perspective, I think it's interesting. And I'm looking at doing some classes about that. But if my function is to be there as a reader, I almost don't want you to see the cards because I don't want you second guessing. you're there for the reading, not for the cards. That's where I sit with that, right? Now, if it is a class and, hey, how did you get all of that information from those cards? Well, then yes, then we'll have a card cam and I will walk you through it. I'll give you the reading and then I'll walk you through what was going on in my mind and how that worked. And that would be a really, really good class, wouldn't it? I should teach that class. But that is, but that's my thing. I think that part of the issue when we talk about intuition versus interpretation, there's got to be a flow there. And in a situation where we're timed, see, I learned to do this on the radio where I had 2 minutes or less to do a reading. And so I didn't have time to talk about the cards. I just had to get it out there. But I think it's a good practice. But I do understand why, as a student, you would want to know. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. But that's also why, like here in Global Tarot Circle, and in fact, all of our tarot meetups, we do the card and the interpretation because we're here to learn. And some of my lives on Facebook, I'll do it that way, again, as part of teaching. And sometimes if I'm just there to do readings, I don't. And I think a lot of the readers like it better when I show the cards because then they're learning, how did I get that from that card? And I totally appreciate that. Okay. Okay, techniques from Sarah. My readings improve so much, not from memorizing the cards, but from improving the ways I ask the questions. Less yes, no, and more qualitative questions. Absolutely, absolutely. And so Sarah is less concerned with Crowley. She is less concerned about the keywords and more about the symbolism. Sure, makes sense. Okay, and going back to La Morena, it's still a form of trance. In my people's tradition, I make it and me physically and spiritually clean, set the candles or other things like crystals and offerings, always ask for my spirits to help. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about, Stacy is mentioning futility 7 versus the 7 of Swords in weight. So let's talk about that and how we can put those things together. And please understand, I have no idea traditionally how this would be done. I am not that much of a traditional reader. I'm an operational reader. So with the 7 of Swords, we see a lot here about, trust and lack of trust. This is the Thieves card, right? And here we see futility. But here's the thing. I sort of feel like this is all in the same continuum of energy, because with the Thieves card, you can try to get away with something for a while, but you're not going to get away with it forever. It is futile. Likewise, trying to get a dishonest person to be honest, it is futile. Likewise, living in such a way where you never trust yourself, it is futile. Most of what this card will talk about, the 7 of Swords, is futile. So you can put the cards together that way, and that's how I work with these 2 decks together. I hope that was maybe helpful. Okay. Okay, tarot question. Saw a thread of truly positive qualities of the Queen of Swords and recognized I've never heard anyone interpret that card positively, and I felt like I've been missing out on what she offers. Oh, yes, we're coming to the end of our time, but I'm going to ask you to do 2 things. One is now is the time for shameless self-promotion. So drop your shameless self-promotion here. Do you have a website, a blog post, a YouTube channel, an Insta, whatever? Drop it here. Let's support each other. But let's also talk. Let's go a couple of minutes late to answer this really wise question. So, the Queen of Swords. The reason, in my opinion, the Queen of Swords always gets a bad rap. She's air. She's the Queen of Air. She's a woman who speaks the truth, and she's a smart woman. When esoteric tarot was first developed in the 1700s, who wanted a woman who spoke the truth? Who wanted a smart woman? Nobody. So that's how she got a bad rap. Right? I think it's just sexism. I think there's a lot of sexism in original tarot, right? And so what are the qualities of the Queen of Swords? She's the Queen of Air. She's smart. She speaks the truth. She knows what she wants. She's not afraid. Maybe she has suffered, but she's strong. Now, traditionally, she is the queen most likely to be widowed, single, or childless. And, we get why that is, but sometimes that will be operational in a reading. Does that make sense? Okay. So, and Melanie, I love the idea of a card cam and a walkthrough reading and a case studies as we did Friday in StarCon. Yeah, I want to play with that more for sure. That worked out really well. Okay. Betty, I love how most people got the same messages in different cards. Yep. I love seeing the cards. When you read, you're a visual learner. Sure. Okay. Oh, and this, we're gonna table this for next time. We meet again, folks, Sunday at 4 p.m. Do you want to know the queerance question or not? I always thought I shouldn't know. Let's start with that one. 4 p.m. on Sunday. I want to thank you all so much for being here. My shameless self-promotion, I am available for readings and mentorship. Just reach out to me. You can go to my website, tarotbychristiana.com. You can connect with me directly from there. Make sure we're friends on Facebook. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you all so very much from being there. Take good care.